Hello again, everybody. It's Scott Casper. Takedown. Our coverage of the sport continues. This time we head to Virginia, where we're going to put Nate Yetzer in the Nike hot seat. Less than 3 years after announcing the hiring of Nate as its head coach of the then new men's intercollegiate wrestling program, Ferrum College will add a women's intercollegiate mat program as well as a men's wrestling club. Immediately, recruitment is already underway. That's good news to us wrestling fans. Nate Yetzer joins us. Nate, congratulations. A big job on your plate.
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it.
Talk to us a bit about the idea of adding a women's program and a men's wrestling club to the growing offerings at Ferrum.
Well, first off, I'll start with the women's. I think, the great thing about our school, and we have a great president who's very proactive and she tries to be creative. Obviously small private schools throughout the country, they're facing a lot of challenges with enrollment. And I think, she tries to see creative ways to increase our enrollment and to, I guess, help with the student experience here. And I definitely think women's wrestling is one of the fastest growing sports on the women's side. And I think it just made sense. Really, there's not a whole lot of more resources you have to put into it. We already have the facility. Now you just got to put the funding in to get the girls here and to make sure they have a great college experience and provide them with the resources to be successful. So, and I definitely think the Ferrum College, the reason I'm here is because they've made a huge commitment to wrestling and to Ferrum wrestling, and financially and just support. So
you're going to be responsible for both new programs guiding the men's varsity program. Doing so to success in the first 2 seasons of competition. You produced place winners at the NCAA Division III East Regional. I mean, you have just been on fire in performance, and you were able to bring in kids very quickly to compete and to attend college. Can you talk about that?
So, I think, recruiting, we just try to sell the Division III experience. It's not all about wrestling all the time. And I think, some kids want to compete, but they don't want it to be a full-time job. And I could tell you, being a Division I athlete and a Division I coach at Virginia Tech, wrestling eats a large portion of their lives, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some kids, not every kid wants that. And then on top of that, I think the club thing really helps us because there's some kids that need some development, and they can get a lot of matches at the club level. And we'll have some kids too that they don't even want the Division III lifestyle. They want to be able to wrestle 3 or 4 times a year, have fun and, maybe not take it as serious. So I think it was a natural fit and it makes a lot of sense. And I think you'll see some other schools doing the same thing as well.
The club program is almost as if it's a bridge program, if you understand what I'm saying. It can help kids gain that much needed mat time and experience without a whole lot of pressure.
And they don't lose eligibility. They don't lose any eligibility. So it's almost kind of like a red shirt thing a little bit, I mean? But
I like it.
Exactly. And it just gives kids another experience, some more experience. And, they can make that decision if they're ready to move up to the next level, they can. So.
All right, so the women's program is going to be competing in the WCWA, the Women's College Wrestling Association, while the men's club program will compete under the National Collegiate Wrestling Association as a sanctioned club program. So there's a variety of different types of rules, different tournaments, different events, national duels, national championships. Dude, you are going to be busy.
Yeah, yeah. I realized that going on. And, I talked to Jason Bryant the other day and told him the same thing. I love it just because it's, we're growing wrestling. I'm always a wrestling fan first, and then, obviously a Ferrum wrestling fan as well. But I just want to see the sport grow, and I love working with our young athletes, and it means there's more people to work out with, I guess, and to work with and to help build. So,
this will be one of the first institutions of its kind to have men's, women's, and a club program.
Right. Yep.
I think that says volumes about what the president there is trying to do with the athletic program and athletic offerings. It really distinguishes you guys apart from many other universities that have one or the other or the both without the club.
Right. Exactly. Yep. I agree.
So right now, I got to believe the goal for you is to hire a great person to add to your staff as a coach, as somebody that can act as an ops director, I'm sure as well. Help with the rules and the implementation of all that needs to go into new student athletes. But then also the next goal would be to build those programs with new student athletes. How do you get the word out?
Things like this, to be honest with you, and just making a lot of phone. Man, we make a lot of phone calls a week, and because it takes the right kid to fit this profile for this school, and and to make sure it's affordable for them. I believe too that, and there's a lot of misconceptions out there that oh, you're going to leave there $100,000 in debt, and that's just not the truth. None of my kids are going to leave with that much debt, and I think so. The biggest thing is talking to kids, and because every kid's different, their financial situation is different, and make sure it's affordable for them. That's one of the first things we look at. Just I think we have an ethical responsibility to make sure that they're not taking on all this debt. But most time, I can only speak of Ferrum College, but once you factor in all the scholarships and the merits awards and all that, it becomes very, very affordable, and a lot of times very comparative to a state school. So. I think the biggest thing is we make a lot of calls. We go visit kids. We do a lot of recruiting. We go out, and our budget allows us to go out and see as many kids as possible. And so in a way, we play the numbers game a little bit, and you kind of have to, But I think the guys we have on the team, the kids we're bringing next year, I'm really excited about. They definitely they want to be here. They love Ferrum College, and so I'm excited what the future holds, and I think we'll continue to bring in great student athletes as well.
Tell people a little bit about Ferrum College, what type of university it is, what you guys focus on, that type of thing.
Right. So we're a private institution. Obviously, we're up in the mountains, about an hour north of Greensboro, North Carolina, and about an hour south of Roanoke. So kind of right in between. Very rural setting. And it's about 1,500 students. Some of our strong majors are environmental science. We're actually the second oldest environmental science program in the country, next to Stanford. And then we also have a strong criminal justice program, business, sports administration. So those are kind of our health sciences. Those are probably our 4 or 5 biggest ones, majors. So most of our guys on our team are around those majors. So.
I know Mike Moyer, the executive director of the National Wrestling Coaches Association, is excited. I mean, he right now is riding a wave of some success with Cleveland State backing up on its the demise, if you will,
That's my neck of the woods.
You're right. And then also Northern State, reinstating its program, the addition of programs at D3, 2, and NEI level, JUCOs. I mean, we're seeing the sport gathering steam. I'm not quite sure what's behind it all, but, we've been predicting it for a number of years that we would see a renaissance. And Nate Yetzer, you're right in the middle of it all.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, Mike Moyer deserves a lot of the credit. He's every time I talk to him, he sounds really tired, like he's been traveling around the country. And I know he has been. He's been up in Northern State, obviously in Cleveland, and on top of that, starting all kinds of new programs at the lower level. I think the reason the growth of wrestling, I think it's twofold. I think the first is just a lack of opportunities to wrestle after high school, and there's so many high school wrestlers. And there's kind of a lack of opportunity for them to continue to compete. That's the first thing. And then the second thing I've noticed is, obviously a lot of these programs that are starting up, are smaller schools or are private schools. And it's an enrollment driver. It's a way for a school to add a different elements to their school and also bring kids in. And I think that's, some people may think that's a bad thing, but it's a great thing, I think, and the good thing too is, I could just speak of Ferrum College. They really make an investment in the student athlete, and and I think they're all in for wrestling. I can tell you that. So
I love it. We're talking with Nate Yetzer. Easy enough. What we're doing is taking a look at a program, a college that is growing its footprint in the sport. More opportunities for kids, more opportunities for the sport, and of course more opportunities for parents to make a great decision on where to send their kids to get their college education. If you want more information, let's give them the official website, Nate.
Well, if you're looking to apply to Ferrum, obviously we're almost to May, so it's going to be important to get on that so we can get as much financial aid as possible for you. You can just go to ferrum.edu. That's ferrum.edu. Or any specific questions at all. Feel free to just email me. It's NYETZER at ferrum.edu. So it's Nate, or it's Yetzer at ferrum.edu. We got a Facebook page, Ferrum College Wrestling. I'm on Twitter at Yetz, YETZ FC for Ferrum College. So we're all over the place. There's just no reason why people can't get a hold of us. So
Now, there is another website too, and that, of course, ferrumpanthers.com.
Yep,
Ferrum
that's our sports
Panthers.
site. Yep.
Yeah, that's where you can go. And if you click on sports, then click on wrestling, then click on coaching staff, you'll see Nate's picture, his email address, and phone number as well. Remember, certain rules do apply in contacting coaches, whether or not they can call you back. Those are in play. You want to make sure that everybody follows the rules, but there's one more
Right.
option in the way of getting a hold of Nate Yetzer. Nate, congratulations. Big news, of course, coming out of Virginia. It seems like the East is leading the drive, and I love it. We appreciate your leadership there. The success you've had comes through hard work. We understand that. And appreciate
Thanks,
the
guys.
time today, man. How did it feel being in the Nike hot seat? You okay?
I'm all right. I'm burning up a little bit, but I'll be all right.
You're burning up. I love it. Well, we'll get back after it. We'll look forward to hearing more from you as things continue to develop at Ferrum.
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it.
For all of us
Thanks,
at
Tony.
Takedown, I'm Scott Casper. He's Nate Yetzer. Ferrum Panthers are not just for real, they're here to stay. Thanks for watching.